And we will be cruel to the derp. And the derp will suffer by our boot heels, and by the edge of our knives. And the derp will fear us, and the derp will talk about us. Private Tolstoyowitz. Yes, really bad impression of Brad Pitt from Inglourious Bastards. You have a Ruger SR9 airsoft gas-powered pistol that you have not reviewed yet. I cannot abide by that, can you? I suppose so. I mean, I didn't review it for like a year after buying it. You're gonna review it now! Oh, that was... God damn me and my weird, crappy skits in the beginning. No one's even watching at this point. God knows that the only kind of people who want to tune into this review are like these airsoft aficionados, these milsims for some reason, who, I mean, can't recognize the fact that it's just a collector's thing. It's a fun little hobby, airsoft, and they think that they're like really in Nam or something and having flashbacks, and because I call the magazine the Clipper... Anyway. Hi, Tolstoy Kopkevsky here, and I'm trying to sneak in a really quick review. I, just had a big day today, and I just got me some coffee, so I figured while I have some excess energy, let me go ahead and make a review. It's about time. The weather's getting a little bit warmer, didn't even need a coat today, and as anyone who works with any kind of CO2 pistol and or airsoft equipment, any kind of person who's into airsoft and CO2 target pistols and any kind of sportsmanship along that lines will generally know that CO2-powered guns, well, not pneumatic pump, air or pneumatic-powered pistols, but CO2-powered requires, in extreme cold can fail. It's one of the drawbacks. Extreme cold causes them to not fire as fast or as well, and so I kind of wanted to say a few of these reviews. There's a lot of reviews that I haven't done yet of the guns. I mean, every kind of weapon that I own that has not been reviewed. I own a whole bunch of stuff that I could talk about, and probably should talk about, but haven't yet. And I was waiting for the winter to pass, and this seems like a good time as any. Talk about the Ruger SR9, I think that's what it was called, SR9 airsoft CO2-powered pistol. First things first, let's talk about Ruger for half a second. I think I mentioned in one of my previous reviews that the only actual working firearm that I own is a Ruger Mini 14 ranching rifle. Probably shouldn't, like, I don't know, show people where I keep it. To be honest, I recognize that I talk a lot about controversial stuff like guns and knives like it's nothing. And, I don't know, ever since I was a little lad, I've had kind of trouble. I always felt that it was like weird to talk to people about the guns that I own. Like, you know, I've always kind of said it in, is if one owns guns, then one would use guns for possible self-defense of home invasion. Like, I would never say, I use my gun. Because from like, I was like a really, really young lad, my family acquired firearms through a gun show, legally, all that stuff. But I remember, and like, I don't remember if I knew where they kept the guns, there's more than one, but I remember that my dad and my mom told me, don't even tell anybody at school, because, I mean, it was the 90s, dude, you know, and Columbine hadn't even happened yet, but they just said, don't tell anybody at school about the guns, don't ever go looking for the guns. And that was pretty much gospel to me. And I remember being at Grandpa and Grandma's house, and like I just remember like asking somebody, you know, like, Mom, is it okay to talk to Grandpa about the guns? Can I mention that we have guns to Grandpa? It's a faint memory, and they were like, yeah, okay. But the point is that's how, you know, that's been instilled in me since I was very young. Obviously, I have the utmost respect for the power that a firearm wields, even a CO2 pistol, although that does not extend to airsoft, and that's why, I mean, I do have some respect for airsoft, but legally airsoft is still classified as a toy because it's less than lethal. You can't, I don't think there's even been a single documented death of an airsoft. I mean, you might be able to lose an eye if you didn't use proper protection, but my point is a while back when I was doing more airsoft reviews, a bunch of people were getting on my case saying, you need to treat your airsoft guns like real firearms, and I'm like, no, that's the point of them not being real firearms. I mean, yeah, don't point them in your eye and, you know, squeeze the trigger, but at the same time, there's no need to act like they're always loaded. I don't know, that's a huge debate. I'm not even going to talk about it. Don't leave me alone. Don't even bring it up. If you don't like the review, go watch another review. There's probably about 80 reviews of this gun in and of itself. And you might just want to watch mine because of my personal take that I bring to it. I mean, you know, there's room on YouTube for everybody. Let's all try and, well, not really. That's not even slightly true. Anyway, you'll notice that it came in this kind of a, it didn't come, I added this on there. This is a UTG tactical leg holster that I acquired, and I can use it for this gun. I also use it for some crossmans when I'm doing shooting, and I found it was nice to have a holster because it's not, I mean, carrying like 18 guns out into the yard for test firing isn't as easy as if you have, I mean, I've got a tactical vest, but it's hanging on my wall, anyway. But, yeah, I bought this off of the internet, And the one thing that's messed up about it is I can't even use it. Anyone who uses a leg holster, maybe I just can't measure right, but basically, first things first with this UTG thing. I mean, really nicely made, it's just, I don't know, dude. Okay, so first you gotta do is strap it onto your belt. Okay. Already we're having trouble. It's kind of hard in the suit vest to do this. Okay, okay. Okay. And then you gotta, where are the straps at? Yeah, okay. Where my straps at, dog? The whole city behind us. It works, it's like if you measure it for some pants it works, but not for all pants. Now immediately it's too tight and it's tugging down my belt. And also you feel like an idiot walking around with like wobbly, you know, and not to mention when I use a CO2 pistol, I mean, the feeling of packing, not really lethal force. Here's my Beretta Storm, completely unloaded. Magazine's still over here from the last review where I talked about it. But I mean, still, the ability to severely injure oneself because this is a huge step above this. Orange tip, no orange tip. Note the laws, people. But still, having that wiggle around, yeah, wiggle it around. I prefer actually the Crossman hip holster that I have. I've always wanted a shoulder holster. My first experiment with, actually this isn't so bad. This one, it's weird. I think it's because when I was trying it with some other pants, some pants it works with, some pants it doesn't work with. That military jumpsuit that I have, I think I tried to put this on there to see if it would work for a Stalker cosplay. Stalker, the game about Russia, based off of a roadside picnic. Awesome game. Try to put together a military Stalker sunshine suit cosplay, and this I thought would go great with that. It did not. It does not want to hold on to the baggy side pants. But either way, this didn't come with it, but I added that on there. I had to keep one gun in there, and for some reason I chose the Ruger. Anyway, I chose this. I saw this in the store, and I was actually really interested in it because it had the Ruger symbol. I just love the little Ruger symbol. And also, I'm kind of partial to the Ruger name for the reason that Ruger's old-fashioned. Now, I don't proclaim to know much about guns, but what I do know about guns I've gotten from, you know, Nuttin' Fancy. He's one of the biggest ones that I watch on YouTube for my information, especially before I bought the Mini Ruger 14, I watched his review. And I got a good deal on mine. Mine is not the standard issue 14. Mine has the wood handling, but I ought to take it out. But honestly, some people have said, why don't you review it? And to be honest, I review toys, not guns, dude. That's how it is. I talk about this and this because it is in fact a toy considering that under U.S. law this is considered a toy or recreational object, but you know, the gun that is not. Anyway, I was watching Nuttin' Fancy's reviews, and he was talking about Ruger. Basically, the guy who was Ruger has always been an American company. He said that they were really old-fashioned. The Ruger Straight Six, the Ruger rifles, all of these guns focusing on the kind of fundamentals of American guns for Americans, you know, I mean, the heartland. We're talking like farmers. Farmers, what are farmers shooting at? Farmers are shooting at, you know, pests and predators, you know what I mean? Coyotes, I don't know. But the point is, as he said, there was no need for tactical stuff. And then apparently when he died, the company was, you know, passed down to the next in line of the CEOs, and the CEOs said, well, let's try and keep in line with what Ruger started, but let's try and make it a little more tactical. Hence, I have one that's got like the wooden handle, and it's got the titanium frame, and that's what sold me, the titanium frame with the extended 20 mag. Because a lot of Rugers are sold with a 5-round magazine. Why would you make a rifle with a 5-round magazine? What is this, World War II? What is this, like World War I? This is I'm going to shoot you, German. I missed. Hold still. Click, click, click. You know, if you're going to make a carbine. And now Ruger even makes a replica. I don't know how to say it. It's not a replica. They bought the rights from Colt or Panther, whoever makes the M4, or no, AR-15, whoever owns the rights for that. They now make their own AR-15, and I gotta admit, it's sexy. It's hot. I find it sexy. It's hot. Anyway, I've really wandered. But the point is, I saw Ruger. I know Ruger makes good guns, so I wanted to see what their airsoft guns look like. Because I don't get the chance to go out back with my real Ruger and go pew pew pew. It's not a toy. I hope to never have to use it for anything else than target practice. Let's just say that. So I don't even have the packaging. This originally came in. It was plastic. It was crap. Most airsoft guns, good airsoft guns, should come in cardboard. Cardboard with instructions and foam padding and all that good stuff and unjamming rods. Anyway, as you can see here. This is kind of the shape of it. It's based off the SR9 series, I believe. I think I'm saying that right. They make them in clear versions, but that's just gay. That's just wrong. That's just... no. Anyway, so, but I bought, obviously, the pitch black version because I'm straight and I'm a manly man. And on the top, you kind of notice we'll dub this the New Vegas style of sights. Get it? Because in New Vegas, I don't know what to call these. There's actually a name for that. They're fiber optic sights, which you would imagine would have something to do with fiber optics. I really don't know that those are fiber optic wires. I highly doubt it. Those just look like clear pieces of plastic that really actually would help you aim. The colors and the highlighting really help you draw a bead on what you're trying to shoot. Overall, you got your... Well, let's finish talking about the gun here. I guess you have your safety. Now it's on fire. This thing has been... Let me remove the magazine. I think I can... kept it loaded. Brilliant. I think this thing is out of CO2. It's been sitting on the shelf for, let me just do it. No, it is still packing CO2. How is that even possible? I thought it was running low when I put it away. That was like half a year ago. Maybe the seals on this are really good. Who knows? Anyway, but there's the magazine for you. It's okay to load. It's actually not bad. A lot of magazines on CO2 pistols and airsoft guns I find have problems with the spring. And this one does too. They all have general problems with the spring. I don't know why they can't make more solid airsoft guns. This was $50, and it's still not that solid. Why is it every single gun, let's put that back on safety, why is it every single airsoft, CO2, anything, always has these shaky problems with it? Aside from, like, I think the Crossman 2240, which I do own, and I'm planning to review, but I got a funny-ass skid I've got a plan for that one. Anyway, but, yeah, it's got shaky parts, let's discuss that. But the CO2 goes in, the handle, which should be one of the most solid parts about it, has this going on, because the way that you, load it in, which is interesting, is you gotta pull that back, and that exposes... Yeah, great. And it's like, you feel like you're gonna break this damn thing. There you go. What? I broke it. Didn't I break it? I feel like I did. There's always... Fuck. There you go. You gotta take the magazine out first, and, you don't know that, and it sits on the frame all wiggly. It's not very comfortable in the hands. It's still, I mean, not that the gun shooting is all that bad. I'm just saying it's not very... It's not... I should feel more solid for 50. It has a rail mount down there in case you want to mount something on the rail. The other thing I'd really want to mount on a gun probably is my Heckler & Koch USP, and I'd probably want to put a one of those in Kick-Ass when switch to kryptonite. That strobe light they can put on tactical firearms. I read, maybe I saw a History Channel thing or History Tactical Military thing saying that it's extremely effective. That when an enemy is staring down the strobe light, it's so hard to hit that strobe light for some reason. It's in the brain. It causes fear. It causes tension, and that is good. That is good for fighting derp. Anyway, so yeah, I'd probably show you how you change the CO2 in this. I'm afraid that the CO2 is going to come on since, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it was out of it. Well, there's a safety lesson for you. I really thought it was empty. I mean, I heard that it banged against the floor, but I just didn't, I thought that was its dying breath. I really didn't think. God damn it, me and my... Let me grab a clean shirt off the bed. Yeah, I store all my excess laundry on my chair, and then when I'm going to do a review, I put it on the bed. Because I'm brilliant like that. God damn it. Yeah, laugh your ass off. Fuck you too. It really had that much gas left in it? Doesn't make any sense. How's the seal holding that? They even tell you, don't store it with CO2 in there, and I always say, fuck it, why not? The first time I loaded a CO2 pistol, I had a lot of gas leak out onto my hands, so the CO2 in the Heckler & Koch review wasn't very strong, it wasn't firing at full capacity, and so obviously that, well, they always say if your CO2 starts bringing a leak, move your hand away from it, because it can cause frostbite. And also, don't ever get any fire near it. They can explode, not because CO2 burns, but because it's under pressure. You heat the pressure inside of that canister, and that canister is cold, my friends. Damn, well, that's safety with Tolstoy there. Don't attempt that at home. Insides are all cold now. Well, that's a waste of a CO2 canister, but to be honest, I have a metric buttload of them. Oh yeah! I mean, like, let go! Stuff I gotta review soon. Most definitely. Very awesome. Finding any kind of CO2 and or finding any kind of fake, we'll call it fake stage, I don't know, prop, less than gun, revolver is difficult. I found a really good one on the internet that's, it's green gas, that's the problem. And it's hard getting green gas, which is an alternative, a Japanese alternative to CO2. They use green gas in their airsoft guns, but it had a wooden handle. It had a faux or real, but it looked so cool and was smaller than this. This is kind of too phallic for me. It's like, look at my giant gun. Don't show that to your parents. Kids, it's disgusting. I shouldn't have even done it, but that's what I mean. I mean, really, this kind of a size revolver in reality is just much too large. You know, I think, not a snub nose is a little too small for me, but, wow, Freud would have a fucking field day. This is turning out into the most fail-tastic review ever. I have everyone who has any dignity left laughing their ass off at me. Alright, so let's grab a fresh one. Need me some oil. I use a special kind of oil. I won't tell you where I get it or what it is, but it is fucking expensive, and it's the good shit. Except for it really didn't work on a knife that anyway, can't show you that knife. There's a whole lot of stuff I can't show you. There's a whole lot of stuff I can't tell you, you know? There's a whole bunch of stuff I want to tell people, but no one's willing to listen. It's not that they're not willing to listen, it's that I can't tell people anything. It's so hard to find people you fucking trust anyway. Most people I find are self-serving idiots. Self-serving assholes. One of the things I hate about trying to screw these things back in is if you spring a leak, you gotta twist this shit on fast. You don't want to... There you go. Damn it, it's leaking. You want to save as much CO2 as possible, you want to get that thing in there tight and fast. Yeah, you can say something sexual about that, whatever. Laugh later. Anyway, so, make sure I don't hear anything. Let's probably get some test shots of this. Go outside in the yard, freak out all the fucking neighbors, and I get a chance to wear some of these new goggles that I've got my hands on at a local grocery store that was selling these. I'll probably look like a retarded bug when I wear these. But these will probably be... They're not airsoft goggles, so I don't really know if they're slated for safety, but they look pretty wicked to me. I wish I was one of those guys who could wear goggles all the time. In fact, I even had a guy in a 24-hour Walmart just last night with my friends. We were going to try to find a copy of American Psycho. And at Walmart, explain this to me. How derp is Walmart that it's like there's this bin of movies? It's a bin. We're not talking about a rack of movies categorized. Would you honestly keep all of your books, like, in a pile or something like that? So you're like, oh, well, you know, I mean, are people so sheepish and stupid in America that it's like they're just going to, like, pick up something and go, oh, I'm probably going to want to buy this? What if you were looking for a specific movie? So we just started, like, digging through all of the, I mean, everyone was looking at us. We're just digging through all of the movies and stuff. Anyway, on our way out, some guy pointed, and rather than saying, most of the time when I'm wearing this kind of attire, the first thing I always say is, oh man, are you like a Nazi or something? Are you that fucking stupid that you think that like only Nazis ever wore tall boots? How about the Green Berets? Can I be a Green Beret? Why am I a Nazi? You derp. Anyway, and so it's like, this guy stopped me and he was the Walmart greeter. He was really nice. He goes, are you a descendant of Orville? You know, or Wilbur? I forget, right? And I was like, no. That'd be cool. And I said, only in spirit. Only in the spirit of must continue to try, never give up, never surrender. And if I had some real cool aviator goggles, that would go with it. But they muss my hair up. I get this weird kind of cool hair ring. Yeah, that's fashionable. All the girls find that hot. Then again, nothing I do women find attractive. Or if they do, they're really good at fucking hiding it. I mean, Lord, I don't know. What do women want? I mean, I'm not even talking about this. God, no! Test shot. So, we're going to fill up the magazine. We're going to use some nice Crossman 20 grams whites so they're easy to see against a dark background. And you can push down the spring all the way down like that. And that will give you the stability of time to push down the BBs past... Or it'll do that. Okay, or they'll all spill out. That's also a possibility. Okay, keep it tilted back then in that case. Takes a nice firm press to get it past the original mouth on the magazine, which is under spring tension or something. You can load about 14 of these in there, which is a nice capacity But remember, it's just 14 shots, and in the heat of the moment, you might miss a few. Airsoft guns aren't terribly accurate, at least not this one. I find that most CO2 pistols... Honk honk, yes. I find that most CO2 pistols are not all that accurate. Most CO2 and or airsoft, any kind of non-firearm. Granted, I have never actually fired a real firearm, but I cannot imagine the sights on these things could be much more off. I mean, within reason. I'm aiming at Coke cans filled with water, down a firing range about 25 feet, across a field of dog turds. So, 25 feet, well, yeah, about 25 feet, so that's a distance. That's a fair distance, I suppose. If you notice on this, the little thing, nozzle, what's the word? The little turning-majig that you need to put in the CO2 has to be down before you slam that thing in there. Otherwise, you will find it gets in the way quite a lot of you having to put that back in there quick, so careful with that. You have your safety and fire feature there. Take that off. Let's give you a eek right down there. All the way down there. Anyone who's familiar with my videos and knows my firing range is right down there. So, if I were to take a few shots, about 14 is what I got. Might look a little something like this. Okay, let's go on down to the massacring fields that I will one day have to clean up, filled with wonderful bits of broken glass and plastic and aluminum cans to take a look at the damage. Down here you'll see a badass copy of Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged that I have shot to shit with CO2 pistols and airsofts abound, and have left it out in the rain, so, and it's still very possibly readable, which is strange. They've taken aim at both cans. This can, you can see dents here, a puncture down here, which isn't bad for an airsoft at a distance. This thing packs a punch. CO2 pistols normally have a lot more energy, power, I find, than, get that dirty water on my hand, yeah. Classic. Yeah, I gotta blow this up one day. And the majority of the hits, you can see right here, you can see a puncture right there. There's a leaking puncture wound. Two of them actually, one, two. I found that a lot of the shots were going down and hitting the damn stump, hitting the book, bouncing off, going over there. Again, the accuracy with these things, you can actually stop aiming with these, and if you fire enough in a row, you can trace the white BBs going through the air, and you can see the wind catching them and moving them off to the side. It's not a real firearm, but in a fight, you're going to be shooting a human, possibly in a skirmish, and you're going to be shooting something bigger than that, hopefully. So, yeah. But altogether not entirely accurate. Pretty cool. Not bad for 50 bucks. So anyway, that was the review of the Ruger pistol. Ruger SR9. You can get these a lot of places. I was seeing them. I'm finding airsoft guns is harder these days. Something about, I was hearing rumors that the Chinese outlawed it. The manufacturers from China are no longer producing, but that you can still get them from Malaysia and the Philippines and Tokyo, of course, Tokyo Marui from Japan. But I've heard those are just rumors. Having a difficult time finding these. This is actually not a bad gun. I'd say go out and get it if you need a trusty sidearm. There are probably better options out there. Depends if you're willing to try to get green gas from Japan. You can probably get better Tokyo Marui pistols. So that's that. Not much else to say besides it has a lot of flaws. For 50 bucks, it's not bad, but Ruger could have done a shit ton better on this. Obviously, they're just subcontracting some Chinese manufacturer to make this. If you got to get one, go with the black. Don't know why you would want to go with the clear. So yeah.